5-0. Arsenal 5, Leeds United 0. What a way to start our home campaign in the Premier League this season. Welcome to the match reaction here on Latte Firm. It is, of course, Saturday night. Arsenal just pumped Leeds United by 5-0 to go back to the top of the Barclays Premier League. And what a wonderful day it's been, ladies and gents, boys and girls. What a wonderful day out at the Emirates Stadium. Fantastic performance, goals galore, Eberechi Eze being announced in front of all the home faithful. Couple of bits of bad news in terms of injuries, but let's not dwell too much on that. Welcome to the show. If you're tuning in for the first time, please do, of course, subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, and get involved in the chat. And the chat is where we will head first of all tonight. Viggs was first in, says, amazing win. Lovely debut from Dowman, but I'm absolutely gutted after seeing Saka go down like that. Regardless of the depth we have right now, we don't deserve this. 3 injuries in game week 2. I am dejected. Really tough to take the Martin Odegaard shoulder injury, Bukayo Saka. It's the other hamstring, looks serious. Obviously, way too early to speculate, but it's bad news. And Kai Havertz, of course, with his knee knock. 3 really important players to our team being injured by game week 2. We don't deserve it, Vix. It's really, really sad, but welcome to the show. V Vlad says, good evening, FK and chat. That felt almost like the perfect day, minus the injuries. The Eze signing was heartwarming. Brilliant to see Gyökeres do a double. Dowman looked excellent. I don't know. I don't think I have the words to describe Max Dowman. I have no idea what we're seeing. He is a phenomenon. He is absolutely outstanding, and the kid should be getting ready for year 11 at school. That is just outrageous. Welcome to the show, V Vlad. Rancid Pumpkin, it could have been the perfect day. Luckily, we did our homework and we were well prepared this time. Dave, welcome to the show. Great to see you in the stadium today. Thank you also for your gifts. Says, what a massive win. And now we actually have a full squad. The injuries are gutting rather than devastating. Does anyone know how bad Saka and Odegaard are just yet? Not sure, Dave, but great to see you. And great to see so many Latte Firm Patreon members in the North Bank lower today. I think there were 7 tickets that were snapped up in total over the last couple of days from the match chat. That's not normal. That's not normal, but obviously really, really good to see so many Patreon members there. Hope you've all had a wonderful day, and I hope you've all had a fantastic journey home. Jonathan K says, big up FK and everyone. What a glorious day. Eze announcement, Gyökeres goals, Hail End on show. Just a shame about the injuries. Saka, take my hammy. Hope they're not serious. Come on, you Gunners. So that's going to be the gist of tonight's show. And by the way, you guys are going to have to get used to this thumbnail. Victor Gyökeres. That is going to be popular all season. I don't even have to change the pictures. Gunny Guna is in the house this evening. Gunas, what a game that was. But Saka, fingers crossed it's not too long. Karen's in the house. Shame about Odegaard and Little Chilly. Paul James, welcome to you, my friend. Evening all, still not quite right. The game of 2 halves. We struggled but scored 2 in the first half. And it was really important that we got that second before half time, I felt. Scintillating in the second half. Some lovely positive play, and we are becoming more fluid. Absolutely. The team look like they are really enjoying playing with each other. Paul Singh, welcome to the show. Great to see you there as well today, my friend. What a great day and game that was. Keep the chat active. Lots of lovely chats coming through. I'm not going to keep up with you guys, I'm sure of it. But let's tuck straight into the content. First up, just a little community announcement. The last one, because we'll be doing the draw for this tomorrow. Those of you that support the channel via Patreon, there is a Patreon giveaway to go and attend an intimate audience with Mikel Arteta, Arsenal manager, and Steve Kerr, NBA legend. They'll be live in conversation at the Londoner Hotel in London, taking place on Friday, the 5th of September. 2 tickets up for grabs, free to one of our Patreon members. If you're overseas or you can't make it or don't want to come, fear not. I will give you some Arsenal vouchers to spend on yourself or some loved ones. If you are unsuccessful or if you aren't part of the Patreon community, but you want to go to this event, go to alidacollective.com/what's happening. Tickets are retailing at £85 each. So the game, let's not waste any further time. It started off with the most wonderful announcement. It was almost a shame that we were sort of walking in towards the ground, because the rumors were that, he was going to be announced, he'd be on the pitch, there'd be some sort of unveiling. And of course, while you're traveling, you don't have any sort of signal, you can't really keep in tune with the news. And then the news starts filtering through that there might be some sort of announcement, maybe just before kickoff. Then there was the announcement on the board saying, look, be in your seat 15 minutes before kickoff because there's going to be something special happening. And in the end, it was this. Eberechi Eze is home, finally. 19 years apart, those 2 pictures on the left-hand side. He is back home. He has signed for Arsenal. It is official. He is our number 10. And what a picture on that right-hand side. It was the most wholesome experience. As he came out of the tunnel, the entire Emirates Stadium was upstanding. People were cheering loudly, clapping, fists clenched in the air, chanting Arsenal. It was absolutely just remarkable. One of those, just a sensational sort of moment that I won't forget. Nothing to do with anything that was happening on the pitch. The player sort of came out. You could tell he was really sort of humbled by it. He was maybe a little bit overwhelmed by it. You could see on the screen it meant how much it meant to him. He was kissing the fans and sort of pointing at the sky because he's so faithful. And then, of course, patting the badge, which obviously always goes down really well. Fantastic to see Eberechi Eze do his thing. It's amazing. Really, really amazing. Wow, so many. I'm already so far behind in the chat. Look, keep it active. I might miss loads of chats today. Man, that Eze video, Wayne says. Announcement. Righty having him walk out. So emotional. Absolutely amazing day at the Emirates. Really, really fantastic to see Eberechi Eze finally in Arsenal red. And listen, with the injury that we've just talked about to the skip, he might find himself in the starting 11 at Anfield next week. What a way to introduce yourself to the Arsenal faithful. Lots of lovely comments about it. Gunny Guna saying that was an amazing moment. What an announcement. It was magical, says Nasir. Must have been that sort of vibe today. It really was. Paul says goosebumps. Our football club is class, says Louis. What an announcement. And are you watching Tottenham? That was loudly sung towards the end of that pitch invasion by Eze. So that was a really wonderful way to start the day. Fantastic. And we knew that we had to beat Leeds United. It's a chance to just rack up the points, scratch another fixture off. They're newly promoted. And we did the match preview today with Oscar of All Leeds TV. That's on the channel feed in case you missed it. We talked very openly about some of the challenges that Leeds were going to have this season, having come up from the Championship, but 192 points in 2 seasons, and with 8-9 different additions over the summer, including a really expensive goalkeeper, a new central midfielder, and obviously Dominic Calvert-Lewin up top, who wasn't able to play today. Leeds are fighting for their survival. Arsenal, on the other hand, we have an immaculate record against newly promoted teams, 18 points out of 18, as Wayne said last season. And in our last 43 games, I think we've now won 38 of them, drawing 5 against newly promoted teams at home at the Emirates. This was the lineup, as you can see on screen. David Raya in goal for us. Calafiori, left back, chosen ahead of Miles Lewis-Skelly, who came on for that last sort of 25 minutes. Gabby Magalhaes, William Saliba, and Jurriën Timber, my man of the match, my player of the season last year. So wholesome to see him amongst the goals, amongst the creation, and seeing him hold that man of the match award. Absolutely brilliant. Declan Rice and Zubimendi in midfield. I know Premier League have kind of got it down as 4-3-3, but I felt that Ødegaard was floating. He was roaming more than I've seen him roam. He was going left. He was going right. It was great to see, actually, Rice and Zubimendi drop into that pivot. And then, of course, up top, Madueke was a surprise one on the left-hand side. Well, not a surprise to me that he's playing on the left, but surprise in that he started for Arsenal. No Martinelli, no Trossard. Martinelli, I mean, you know, you're seeing Max Dowman get minutes and Ethan Nwaneri get minutes. I'm hoping he'll still be part of the squad, especially after the injuries today. But depending on who you believe on socials and who you follow, there may be some sort of transfer speculation just spicing up. Victor Gyökeres up top, and of course Bukayo Saka, who desperately, devastatingly, sadly, had to go off with that hamstring injury in that second half. KSSNYW says, amazing game today, FK. Great to have Gyökeres off the mark. And Dowman, wow, what a player. That's 4 in a row now. Hale End is cooking. Hale End, what they have done for this football club is undescribable. The conveyor belt of talent that just seem to be coming out of that factory is sensational. We have some incredible young players, and they are all doing bits, and they are pivotal, to the success of our season, I feel, and to the success of our club. Matthew Llewellyn, welcome, says, oh my, what a day. We've won the league already. Yeah, there was a moment in the stadium where I was like, we're going to win the league. We're going to win the league. You know, like there's that video going around. I think Cecile's sort of interviewing an Arsenal fan. And that's how I felt. Like it was just an amazing realization. We are so good at football and we are so back. Paul James says we are top of the league, ahead of the scum. A perfect way to end the day. Indeed. Luke says, I've watched a few post-game summaries and no talk of Zubimendi. He was immense this game. Do you know what? You don't even notice Zubimendi. And that sounds ridiculous, but like, when we're on the ball, he just does so many amazing things. Left foot, right foot, short and long. Brilliant. Just gets the ball ticking over. And when we're out of position, you know, when we're sort of not on the ball, he just works so hard and he gets in so many sort of interventions, but he just goes about his business really quietly, really subtly, never complains. Fabulous. Vivlad says, have to give Calafiori his flowers as well. He's just chaotic, making things happen. Ricky Calafiori is a tremendous footballer. We know this. The challenge is that he just can't stay fit. That's the challenge for Ricky Calafiori, but it's great to have that depth. We have Miles Lewis-Skelly, who's equally capable, has different strengths, but of course, a fantastic player to come on. Wayne, just going back to the thought on Duran Timber, says Timber will get loads of plaudits rightly, but I thought Zubimendi was so good. My man of the match. He reads the game so well. There you go. Gatme says, I'm buzzing. Hail end we take for granted, says Jonathan K. Well, hopefully you won't. Karel Gusev, welcome to the show. Channel member says, good evening. What a win. He is in a happy mood, as is El Batch. Emirates was jumping today. North Bank was buzzing. What a game. Gutted about Saka, aren't we all? Henker, I hear you went to the Emirates today. Is that true? Did you enjoy it? Could you look at the table, my man? It's beautiful. We are top of the league. It is a fantastic feeling. Just sitting here talking to you guys, talking about Arsenal being top of the league. Absolutely tremendous. And it's just a great feeling. I never want it to end. Let's talk about the match stats. So in the end, a wonderful performance. 5-0 to the Arsenal. These courtesy of Cannon Stats, as you can see on screen. 5-0. Handsome win. 2.9 XG for Arsenal compared to 0.1 for Leeds. A tremendous save from David Raya. I think in about the 20th minute from a corner. Really, really good save. Good positioning. Strong arm over the roof of the net. Fantastic. We had 18 shots on goal in the end to compare to Leeds' 3. Only 5 on target, but we scored 5, which is awesome. 11 shots from open play for us. We bossed possession as we thought we would, and as we typically do at the Emirates. More than double passes completed. We are the field tilt champions. Look at that. Almost 5 times the final third entries compared to our opposition today. Really, really good stuff. I mean, there's not much more we can say. It was a comprehensive performance. I got to say, the game didn't start as fluidly as I would have liked. Obviously, Leeds had that chance. David Raya made that save. And it was about 15 minutes after that where we actually finally sort of broke the deadlock through a Julian Timber header from a corner. Set piece FC. Ole, ole. Something in capitals. Here we go. Boy Muhangi says, FK, I saw you in Eze's intro video applauding. Did you? If you're making it up, fantastic. If you're not making it up, link me. Please link me. Hand of Arsenal is in the house. What fine work he's been doing over the last sort of 10 weeks. Latte firm with the heart emoji. Hand of Arsenal, man. It is a pleasure to have you on board. And it is a pleasure to be able to talk through Arsenal content with you watching. You're going to get a lot of love. Now, here we go. The ninjas are coming through. Legend, man. Absolutely. You are an absolute legend. Really appreciate everything that you have been doing. But look, comprehensive for the Gunners today. Really easy performance. And it was needed. I mean, if you look at the attacking threat chart, the one at Old Trafford was a little bit shaky, but the one today from the Emirates, absolutely convincing. You've just mentioned the 20th minute chance that Leeds had, which is that sort of purple dip in the middle of that first half. But look at that middle third. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, we got the goal on 34 minutes. We then got the goal just before halftime, a Bukayo Saka rifling in with his right foot. Didn't he? Do you know what? If you look back at the slow motion of that goal, Bukayo Saka doesn't even look at the goal. He is just focused on that ball and he twats it top left, top bins. Absolutely sensational, extraordinary finish. And that was just a beautiful way to go into halftime, 2-0. We came out in the second half and basically bossed the opening 15, 20 minutes of that second. You can see that, the red mountains there on the chart. The 2 goals early doors. Leeds tried to do some stuff midway through that second half, and we finished strong after Max Damon came on and won a penalty. I got to say, bossing these sorts of games and winning these sorts of games is really important, because this is courtesy of Opta Analyst, our partner, by the way. I'm allowed to now use Opta Analyst graphics on Latte Firm. You'll be pleased to know. This was our home record comparison over the last 2 years, 23-24, 78.9% win ratio at home in the Premier League. Last season, however, it dropped massively down to 57.9%. So we have a lot to do at home this season. We have to take teams and we've got to finish them off and go for the kill. Arsene Wenger in his most successful days, the games would be lost in the tunnel. I'm sure you guys have read about that, or those of you that are old enough to sort of experience it will remember that. But we would be 1-0 up, 2-0 up in the first 10, 15 minutes, and opposition teams would be thinking about the bus journey home. We need to start fast. We need to be relentless, and we need to go for the kill when the opposition on the ropes. And isn't it amazing what a difference having a striker makes? Because Victor Gyökeres was outstanding today. Let's talk about the story and how it all unfolded. Let's talk about the individual goals. Wow. So look, we've talked about Eberechi Eze and the welcome that he had on the pitch. It's a moment I will never forget. And those of you that were able to join me in the stadium, that would be a moment that I'm sure no one will forget very easily. What was it like watching on TV? Those of you that were streaming or watching it live, did you catch it all? Were you emotional? Did you see it? Let me know in the chat. Really, really fantastic. Dan says, congrats on the Optra Analyst deal, FK. It's not a deal. They just basically allowed me to do it, but I appreciate the congrats, Dan. Nonetheless, great work. It's a great help when you've got now_Arsenal, Canon Stats, Optra Analyst being kind enough to let me use their graphics. It really does help when it comes to preparing these slides. What happened first? Jurrien Timber, set pieces, 33 goals now from corners we've had since the start of 23-24. That is 10 more than any other team in the top 5 leagues in Europe, 13 more than our next Premier League team in that sort of table. So we are absolutely bossing it. Nico Yova, you diamond, is doing bits. So 1-0 for Jurrien Timber, and really happy that JT scored. It was such a wholesome moment. We were all looking back at the replay, particularly those of us in the North Bank, wondering who's got his head to it, who's got his head to it. And we saw the replay on the screen, and it's Jurrien Timber, and it's just a brilliant feeling because this guy is the unsung hero. He goes under the radar in terms of like rave reports and praise. Everyone will always talk about, the strikers or the creative players or the two beasts that we've got at the back in Saliba and Gabriel. But this guy goes about his business and he deserves his flowers. He's absolutely phenomenal. Do you know what? I said it last year, my player of the season. I think he might just be my favorite player in the squad. Like, I love Saka. Don't get me wrong. I love the skipper and I love all of the boys. I love Victor Gyökeres. The loyal viewers here will know how much I've loved him. But Jurrien Timber is just so underrated, so subtle. He's just fabulous. I love Jurrien Timber so much. Yeah, just love it. Love it. The second goal, of course, just before halftime, Bukayo Saka, before, of course, he got the injury. What a bullet finish with his right foot. Right foot. JT putting in the sort of slide pass, got the assist, and Saka runs into the box, doesn't even touch the ball, doesn't even look at the goal, but just twats it first time across the goalkeeper, top corner. You're not stopping that. Brilliant. To go in 2-0, phenomenal. Really, really pleased. And to be 2-0 up at the break against a team who are going to be enjoying their day out, first day back into the Premier League, away day. And, the Leeds fans were in fine form before the game, walking up to the Emirates, giving it the big. So to go 2-0 up and just have that buffer at halftime, I felt was really, really important. We then got our third. And it was Victor Gyökeres. And this was a golden moment that I will treasure because, again, those of you guys who have been watching this channel for a while will know how much I love this boy. He is a player that I wanted Arsenal to sign so long ago. And when we finally got him, I was absolutely ecstatic. Not as ecstatic as the other day when I did the Eze release. So many of you stopped me today to say hi. And so many of you stopped me to say that they all watched that Eze bomber drop live. Really wholesome. James and I are very touched with all your comments. Very, very pleased to see that. But Victor Gyökeres, what a player and what a goal. It was, I think it was Calafiori who sort of chipped the ball or played the ball into that sort of left channel. Gyökeres then sort of, ran onto it, started running into the box, slalomed his way back through two defenders, and then he just finished it neatly into the bottom corner of the net. And it was brilliant. And the way he raced away to the North Bank, giving it the "no one cared about me until I put on the mask." It was just absolutely extraordinary. And we all gave it back. Grown men, adults, grandparents, children, all doing it. It was just the most wonderful experience. And I'm so pleased that he's just off the mark because, for a striker, the longer any sort of run goes on, the more noise there becomes. And of course, there's so much focus on Victor Gyökeres and Arsenal. The game against Manchester United at Old Trafford, he took pelters for that, more touches to his hair than whatever. And I understand that's what he did in the second goal celebration, by the way. But just pleased he's got the goal out of the way, monkey off your back. And then he bagged another, which is fantastic. The penalty. Let's just talk about that. I mean, Max Dowman, what are we seeing? I don't know. The most exciting, electrifying young player I've seen in a long time. And every time he gets the ball, he's direct and just wants to run towards the goal. And his ball control, his ball manipulation, his balance, his speed at which he moves the ball, Max, any sort of light contact, he's going to win fouls, he's going to win penalties. And Victor Gyökeres, Mikel Arteta was asked in the week about who the best penalty taker is in the squad, and he answered unequivocally, Victor. Declan Rice had the ball in his arms for a while. He then gave it to Victor Gyökeres once the VAR check was cleared, and he doesn't mess about. There's no stutter. There's no messing about with the goalkeeper. He just puts the ball down, picks a side, and twats it as hard as he can. You're not stopping that. He'd probably penetrate a brick wall. I mean, he smashed that ball into that corner, and it was brilliant. And again, goes back and does his trademark celebration. So 2 goals for Victor Gyökeres today. Very, very delighted with him. Lots of comments about Timber's goal. Vive lads, it's such a good header. Really, really is. Henke says Opera lucky to be included on Latte Fam. I like that. Gunny Guna says he was very emotional during the Eze announcement. I must admit it was brilliant. And Cafu Regen says Jason W for Jury and Timber. He's absolutely extraordinary. He's just a brilliant player. Paul James says, I'll say it again, he's world class. Jury and Timber. He's a cheat code, says Henko. He can do everything. Timber makes it feel safe on the pitch. That is the best way to describe it. Dan says that Gyökeres goal, the first one, super, super, super. Vivlad says the first Gyökeres goal is so good. He manufactures it himself. Do you know what? Obviously, his goals are going to get the headline, but how good is it that we finally got a centre forward who just wants to run in behind, who just wants to go towards goal, who just wants to shoot and score goals? Like, it's actually really straightforward and very simple. It's not rocket science, but like he's really made such a brilliant impact to this team. Rancid says, beautiful goal from Gyökeres. Jonathan says, so happy for Gyökeres, off the mark. Very, very important. And Mike Jones, he dumped his girlfriend to play in red and white. It was a great chant. It was being sung all throughout the game. And Gunnar Una noticed the hair flick to the camera. I think he's since shared that he did that because of social media. People also talking about Max Down and how proud we are to see Max coming onto the pitch. But that was, of course, the 5th goal and the 3rd goal. And in between, Jurien Timber got our 4th and his 2nd of the game. It was a sort of chaotic, ricochets in front of the goal, and he sort of poked his leg out and finally managed to get his 2nd goal, which is brilliant because Jurien Timber, for me, deserves all the plaudits, all the cheers, all the love. And he got his man of the match award. And it's annoying that defenders get man of the match awards when they score goals. Jurien Timber has been a high, consistent performer for a very, very long time for Arsenal, and he absolutely deserves all the praise that he gets. What else can we say? Max Dowman. Ethan Wanyeri. Let's talk about Ethan Wanyeri. The skipper went off, obviously, with a shoulder injury. That's a little bit nerve-wracking, a little bit worrying. Not sure how long he's going to be out for. Not sure if it was a precaution. He did go off and then he came back on, if my memory serves me right. Ethan Wanyeri did have his top off and then he put his training top back on to kind of warm up again. But Ødegaard came on. Then about 10 minutes later, the skip was taken off. And I thought, okay, this is interesting. No Havertz, no Ødegaard. They normally trigger the press. Saka, of course, who went off in the second half. But I thought Wanyeri grew into the game. Let me know what you think, Ethan. I thought he played a really good game. Again, I like him and Dowman. I love the way that when they get the ball, all they want to do is move it forward and all they want to do is run directly towards the goal. Can be a little bit reckless, maybe a little bit selfish, which is fine because Ødegaard is all about the team. Ødegaard is all about the fluidity. He's all about the control and the sort of, the pass domination. Whereas I just get a feeling where Wanyeri is just a bit more direct, has a bit more purpose when he has the ball and runs at it. And Max, I mean, I don't know what to say about this kid. He came on and played in that game against Newcastle in pre-season, as a year 10 pupil, 15 years of age in England, which is frankly absurd. And today, I don't even know if Mikel Arteta's making a statement because I think he's just good enough, so he's old enough. And every time he came on, the expectation from the Arsenal fans, you'd think, it's pressure playing on that pitch in front of the watching millions, and you can fold so easily. But he just doesn't look fazed. He's fearless, and he just takes the ball, and he wants to beat his man. And he doesn't care how big or small he is compared to his opposition. He will run at his fullback. He will run at the defenders. And like I said, his ball manipulation, close ball control, left foot, right foot, his balance. He sort of slaloms like a skier in between flagpoles. Like he's brilliant. He had that one moment where he sort of ran across the penalty area and he smashed it over the bar. Unfortunately, couldn't get the shot on target. But this boy is special. He is going to go to the very top. And I'm so, so proud that he is here making his debut at 15 years of age and 235 days. The 3rd youngest player to ever play in Premier League history. Ethan Wanyeri, of course, the youngest, and Leicester City's Jeremy Monga, the 2nd youngest. and he just showed no sign of nerves. He just ran and skillfully beat his his right back, sorry, his opposition fullback. Fabulous. I mean, what do you say? He's probably got to be on the bench at Anfield. Some would even say he probably deserves to start at Anfield. What am I saying? That's absurd. It's ridiculous. Guna DNA says, when Eze came on, I wasn't crying. You were crying. That's right. That's right. 15 years old and a few hundred days, said Rancid Pumpkin. It's absolutely ridiculous. Simon Marie, welcome to the show. Says, when Dowman came on, I said he'd win a penalty. And yeah, like I said, any sort of deft touch on the boy, he is going to go down because he races through. He's got that acceleration. Absolutely tremendous. Sir Nicholas, FK, that guy in the chat during the match preview was almost right when he said 6-0, and we all laughed. Yeah, JK Mayingo, that's who it was on the preview show this morning. He said Arsenal would win 6-0, and I sort of said, JK, I don't know what you've had for breakfast, but I want some, and he was absolutely almost there. We've had a super chat, and it's from Alex Ebbers. Alex, welcome. Thank you so much for your generous donation to the channel. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. It goes towards the running costs, and I appreciate that. It says, emotional day on so many levels, joy and pain. Praying Saka isn't too bad, but happy we have the depth to cover. Emirates vibes had to be immaculate, and they absolutely were, Alex. Once again, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hope you've enjoyed the game. Wayne coming back on Wanyeri, saying he was really good, had real drive, dribbled forward well. I think you're absolutely right. Our press, this is an important point. Our press is decimated without Saka, Havertz, and Ødegaard, and I'm a little bit nervous about what that means for us at Anfield. Yeah, nervous. Big game against Liverpool. Obviously, box office that's going to be on Monday night at St James's. Hopefully, one or two players, get crocked before the trip to Anfield. 1 or 2 red cards would be tasty as well. Anajic says Timber the Beast is an example of consistency. Remember, he came back after a prolonged injury on that first day. And Mosquera came on. Yes, Jason, we're going to look back at £13 million for Mosquera as an absolute steal. Top quality play. Coming on as right back for the last sort of 15, 20. I like the look of him. Physically big, great posture, fast, strong, aggressive in the tackle, reads the game well. Very, very pleased. Jason, yeah, Max has got, don't know about school tomorrow, but certainly in a couple of weeks. Isn't it GCSE year for Max? Oh my God, that's insane. By the way, 550 of you watching live right now on YouTube. If you enjoy this sort of content, please do drop the channel a follow and subscribe. And of course, drop a like on the video. It's a massive help. You guys don't appreciate how much it helps in terms of YouTube algorithms. Completely free to do. Just press like, and it really gets the videos recognized and the channel recognized. I appreciate all of you. KSSMYW says Max is elite. Last couple of comments. He is incredible. Loved the support from the fans. Absolutely loved the support from his teammates. They wanted to show the world their teammate. This club is just something else. Arjun says, yep, Max is the second youngest. I think that's what I said. Kirill, VG's goal was great. Both of them were great. And he says it's not absurd. Well, I think Dowman is absurd, Kirill. I got to disagree. 15 years. What were you doing at 15? I can't even dread to think what I was doing at 15. Mafia Boss, channel member, welcome, says, we finally have a number 9, a proper forward. Glock 14, Glockerej, all the different words. Fantastic. There was such a feel-good vibe coming out of that stadium. Not just because we've picked that lot off the top, and not just because, obviously, we've won a game, but the first home game of the new season. We wanted to go there, and we were all dreaming about Victor Gyökeres scoring a goal, dreaming about seeing Bukayo Saka, dreaming about maybe seeing Max Dowman, dreaming about 3 points, dreaming about so many things, and we got them all. Apart from the injuries, of course, which we now have to wait and see what happens in the coming weeks. Let's hope that it's not too negative. Let's hope that they all come back, and let's hope it all works out. That is the perfect way to end the show. Thank you very much. We'll be back tomorrow with a deeper dive into the game. Maybe we'll do a show that kind of rounds up the weekend's sort of news and action. I'll get Haroon back onto the show for that. And let me know what you guys want to see. The DMs are open on Latte Firm. The community chat is open here on YouTube. Let me know what sort of content you enjoy, what you don't enjoy. I'm talking to James currently about doing sort of post-match reactions live on the whistle, some sort of instant reaction type thing. I don't know if that's the sort of thing you'd like to see me sort of trial. If that's the sort of thing that kind of gets you out of bed, let me know. Very, very happy to help. but appreciate all the love, all the chats, all the likes, all the super chats, all the Patreon members, the channel members. Really is a fantastic community, and I got to say, just a love to all the people that came today in the North Bank from the Patreon group. Really fantastic to meet Use and Dave and Paz of the Cat and forgetting names here, Paul, and so many others. Really appreciate all the generosity, really appreciate all the support, and really appreciate the Arsenal. There we go. Arsenal have signed Eze. Arsenal have beaten Leeds by 5 goals to 0, and Arsenal are top of the Barclays. Bye for now.